3, 2, 1.
The moment a dog is given as a gift, sometimes on a child's birthday, sometimes a small miracle quietly entering the life of a lonely person. The box opens, the eagerly awaited surprise stirs inside. Eyes widen, hearts race. That moment is the first minute of a lifelong friendship. Imagine a child. Their eyes light up when they see the trembling little puppy in their hands, and they feel a brand new warmth in their heart. Even if that little dog doesn't understand, it now feels that it is no longer alone. That moment is not just a gift, but an invisible bond formed between two hearts.
What is it?
Hey, little puppy.
This is all yours.
Yeah.
Você tá me zoando. Você tá me zoando.
É seu cachorro.
Você tá me zoando. Você tá me zoando. É mentira. É mentira, né?
Não, é.
Is this the one that we were looking at?
Yep.
What are we gonna name it? Alex gets to decide.
Maverick.
Are you surprised?
Dogs are among the most special gifts because they are not just objects, they are emotions. They teach unconditional love. They don't love you for your money, beauty, or success. They love you simply for who you are. Those little paws that wake you up every morning, those impatient eyes waiting for you at the door in the evening. That is true happiness. Sometimes children grow up with them, sometimes the elderly rediscover the meaning of life with them. When a dog is given as a gift, it is actually saying to that person, you will not be alone. Because dogs are creatures that listen to you, understand you silently, and forgive you every time. But we must not forget that this gift comes with responsibility. It requires as much effort as love. Because their happiness depends on your attention, your love. If you open your heart and truly give them a home, in return you will gain lifelong loyalty, love, and friendship. A dog is not really a gift. It is the missing piece that completes you. Like the video and subscribe to our channel. As the first rays of morning light filtered into the house, little Mark was excitedly packing his suitcase in his room. The sea, the sun, the sand, they were all waiting for him. But there was someone sitting quietly by the door. Tony. He was the family's adorable golden retriever. He had grown up with Mark since his birth, always by his side during every laugh. But this time something was different. Because this summer, Tony wouldn't be going on vacation with them. Tony's eyes wandered over the suitcases hanging by the door. With each new piece added, his tail wagged a little slower, the light in his eyes fading a little more with each passing minute. Mark turned to his mother. "Mom, please let Tony come too." But his mother shook her head sadly. "Dogs aren't allowed where we're staying on vacation, sweetie. Tony will stay at home and our neighbor will come by every day to look after him." Mark fell silent. He turned to Tony and hugged him. "I'll miss you, buddy. But I promise we'll play as soon as I get back." Thought balloon. So if it were you, could you leave behind a friend who has been by your side for years for a vacation? Tony found the answer to that question in his heart at that moment. He couldn't imagine a single day without Mark. The day before the vacation, an unusual silence reigned in the house. Tony wasn't eating or touching his toys. He was curled up in front of the door next to Mark's shoes as if to say, "Don't forget me." And that morning came. When the family headed for the door, Tony's tail began to tremble, but this time it wasn't out of joy. When Mark got into the car, Tony began to bark, wanting to run after the car, but his father held him back. The door closed. The sound of the engine faded away. The house was plunged into silence. After that day, Tony hardly ate anything. He looked out the window and waited. It rained, the sun came out, but Tony's eyes were always fixed on the same spot, the corner of the street. He thought Mark would turn up there. Days passed. Mark wasn't at peace on vacation either. Even while playing on the beach, Tony's face wouldn't leave his mind. While eating, he couldn't help but ask, "What is Tony doing now?" One night he came down with a fever. The doctor said, "There's no infection, just very low morale." His mother understood the truth at that moment. Thought balloon. Do you think a child can feel the absence of a friend so deeply? Sometimes love leaves the deepest marks on the heart. The next morning, the mother turned to the father. "We're going back. Mark isn't going to get better. Let's take Tony back." The journey was short, but every second felt like a lifetime for Mark. When they arrived home, Tony was curled up asleep in the garden in front of the window. When he heard Mark's voice, he lifted his head, hesitated at first. Then his tail suddenly began to wag rapidly. Mark ran and hugged him. "I'll never leave you again, Tony." From that moment on, the two were inseparable. The family now took Tony with them on vacation. They ran together by the sea, slept together on the beach. Mark's laughter mingled with Tony's barking. That summer wasn't just a vacation. It was the rebirth of a friendship. Thought balloon. Sometimes you don't need separation to understand love, but separations teach love more deeply. Tony and Mark knew this better than anyone. And at the end of the story, Mark hugged Tony once more and whispered in his ear, "This time, there will always be a place for you in the suitcase, my friend."